Hey, what's up guys and welcome to part 2 of What If Naruto had an OP bloodline and was brutally trained by Danzo. Remember to get this one to 100 like as usual. Comment down below and tell me if you're new guys so I can reply and talk back to you guys and welcome you. And also, if this is the first time you hear my voice, I have 4 channels guys. Yes, you heard that correctly. 4 channels: Anime King, Anime King 2, Anime King 3, and Anime Prince, which I post what if on every single day for you guys to enjoy. So go ahead and destroy that red subscribe button and become part of the Anime King family guys. And also, don't forget to comment down below and tell me if you're new guys. And don't forget to turn on the bell notification to see exactly when I post. So without further ado, wasting more time, what do you say we jump right into this new episode? Let's begin now guys. So the last spot we left off, Danzo began another test as he sent 2 root agents inside. Bodies and blood were splashed all over the place, as one of the beams inside were thrown right through the window as the blonde emerged. His name was Naruto Uzumaki, one of Danzo's perfect weapon, if you might say. It was a couple years ago as Danzo had found the boy. There was bodies littering all around as the boy had decimated them. He had a rusty shaft in his hand, ready to gut anyone despite being tired. A few people tried to beat him up, however he retaliated in a wicked way. He and Danzo made a deal. Danzo would help him and in turn he would train him to protect the village, as long as he gave him what he wanted. As Naruto agreed to that deal. So for the past couple of years, Danzo had trained Naruto brutally into a perfect weapon, as Naruto's mind was kept intact. However, now it was finally time for him to exit the academy, be the face of Konoha, a powerhouse. Arriving towards the academy, Naruto revealed that he was under illusion the entire time. Everyone was shocked by his new appearance and his attitude as well. He was placed on Team 7, as Chakra and Sasuke was on his team. They were told to come back tomorrow as Naruto went to the forest, as he met the fox in his mindscape, as she could switch her form into a younger girl. At first, the two of them didn't get along as she was trying to refuse what he was saying. However, Naruto created a chain from his neck that pulled her down to his face, slamming her in the ground, as he told her not to push her luck, as he could make her life in here a living hell, as the place started to electrocute her. However, all he asked for was for her to be his friend and watch his back. Hearing that, she didn't see as much problem with that as she thought, so she agreed, as Naruto was all too grateful. The next day, the both of them made their way, arriving towards the training ground, as they met up with the others. The test was a bell test, as Naruto and Kirome realized it rather easily. So with that out of the way, Naruto fought Kakashi. Kakashi was taken aback as Naruto had a strange bloodline. However, Naruto retreated before he could get a good handle on it. Naruto found Sasuke, who was being an arrogant prick, so he slapped the shit out of Sasuke. As they came back a moment later fighting, they clashed with Kakashi. Sasuke was so furious he launched an attack right where Naruto was, aiming to burn right through him as Naruto did the same thing. However, he launched a sonic boom out of his mouth. Kakashi had to get away, but he ended up getting a few scratches and cuts. It turns out that Naruto had manipulation over sound waves that could be rather destructive and deadly, considering he released these pulses that could destroy the entire place, seeing that he sent his fist in the earth and it exploded outwards. As Naruto revealed the true reason of this test: teamwork. Some hours later, Kakashi reported back in. The other Jonin senses were shocked. As Kakashi tells Hokage about Naruto's special ability, Hiruzen never knew about that, but Kakashi was praising Naruto's skills and the others are shocked. As Naruto was supposed to be dead last of the class, Hiruzen could feel a smugness coming from Danzo. However, he had to make sure that he hadn't sunk his claws deep in Naruto too much to control him under his beck and call. So yeah guys, basically as we left off, you guys can switch across the plays, check it out for yourself, and also guys, don't forget to comment down below and tell me if you're new, and also turn on that bell notification to see exactly when I post. So without further ado, what do you say we leap on this new episode begin now guys? Well, that was easy, said Naruto, as he laid on his bed. As he was playing with some ninja wires between his finger, Kurumi was sitting on his decks, in front of the mirror, as she was combing her hair. I guess you perform well. Compared to the other two children, you definitely stand apart away from them. As Naruto held the wires up, an unseen force they started twitch, before they came rigid and stiff like needles. Well, Sasuke was thought to be the best in the class, and they thought I was the worst. Even if I might not be stronger than Kakashi, when he uses Sharingan, I still did good enough. But all I need is for an opponent to get too close to me, and my win is guaranteed, in one way or another. Well, except for Kage's. That might be a bit too difficult. Well, the test didn't really matter to me. However, I like when you beat up the Uchiha though, she said, with a grin. Yeah, I bet you did, said Naruto, as he looked towards and he saw pieces of the comb stuck in her head. What are you doing? I'm trying, she said. Do you want some help? She did not voice or respond, however. She came over and sat right in front of him. Hand him the fresh new comb. Static vibrated through his hand as he combed through her hair first. You know, your hair is really beautiful and glossy, said Naruto. She blushed at the praise. However, she pointed her face up and huffed. Well, would you expect anything less from the queen of the Bijus? Hard to believe despite its appearance, it's so matted. Like the only thing you ever used to comb it was your tongue. She glared at him. I don't think those are things you should say to a woman. I have always been in my Biju form, so I don't have much experience grooming myself in this form. As Naruto placed hand on her head and started to stroke her hair. There, he said, it's okay. Her tail wagged from the feel as she tried to keep up her glare. Stop it, she said. Let me spoil you at least this much, he said. She sighed in defeat. It's not like she didn't like it. It was more an issue of pride than anything. However, no one could see them, so she supposed that she could allow it. She would ask him later how he was detangling her fur and hair so easily though, by just combing his hand through it, as she could feel the buzz on his fingers. Even a master must groom his pets, said Naruto. She slapped him at that. Well, he was expecting that. She was still the strongest Biju, and her pride wouldn't take so much. Time skip. Naruto chuckled to himself as they stood in the office of the Hokage. His chuckling caused Sakura and Sasuke to glare at his back. Sasuke was covered in scratches and Sakura was a bit dirty. They had tried to catch a cat Tora. Naruto did not have a mark on him. All he had to do was reach out and grab, and the cat did not even hiss at him. However, he felt some regret at getting the cat now, seeing that the owner was squeezing the poor thing to death. Tora-chan, Mommy's here now. I will never let you out of my sight again. The daimyo wife should not be entrusted with any animal. That was Naruto's opinion, but it wasn't his problem. After the woman left, they turned towards Hiruzen, and Naruto was there as well. Well, good job once again, Team 7, for completing another D-rank mission. Hey, Jijin, I think it's time we got a C-rank mission, said Naruto. Naruto, he's our Hokage. Show him some respect, Aruka said. As Naruto simply ignored the man. That caused Aruka vein to pop in his head. However, Hiruzen simply laughed it off. It is perfectly alright. Well, Kakashi-kun, what do you think? Are your Genins ready for a C-rank mission? Sasuke perked up ever so slightly. He was ready for something better. Sakura on the other hand looked unsure. Hopefully though a real mission will make her take things a bit more seriously. Kakashi decided not to look at Naruto because he could feel the glare already. Like if he denied to take a higher rank mission, Naruto might hurt him. But he had no major reason not to take a higher rank mission with his team anyway. Well, I think my little Genins are more than ready for a C rank. Well then, if Naruto can believe he can handle a C rank, let's get him one. Bring in our guest. A junkin old man walked in as he had a bottle of booze, with a fisher hat on his head. As Naruto covered his nose, the smell Is that normal for human, or is it because of the age? Asked Kuromi. Neither. He's drunk and needs a bath, said Naruto. The man belched before he finally addressed the group in front of him. So I got a bunch of kids. One looked useless, the other one looked like a pigeon toe with a duck ass for hair. And the blonde looked like he's about to keel over for some reason. Sakura's confidence was hurt at that, as Sasuke subconsciously touched the back of his head, as Naruto simply ignored the smell. Kakashi's eyes smiled. I assure you, we're more than capable enough to protect you. The man looked unconvinced, but he shrugged. Well, you better be, he said. My name is Tezuna, a master bridge builder. Timeskip they left not too long after that, as they covered a decent amount of ground. They had to go slower than normally though, since Tezuna was an old civilian. As Naruto was walking with a small fox in his arms, as he stroked her back, Sasuke and Sakura looked at him in confusion. However, Kakashi was slightly on edge. Naruto supposed that was to be expected when you knew what he contained, and now, having a fox in his hand that had the exact same color. Kuromi was enjoying the spoiling, as Naruto called it, as she peeped open her eye to look at the others. Are you sure it's okay for me to be out like this? A small smile on his face, Naruto spoke, in his thoughts, as they had their mental link. Never thought the great queen of the Bichus, who has hardly had fresh air in a couple of decades, would be awkward just from a few gazes. It's not that. Wouldn't my being out here cause you some trouble, she asked. Don't worry about it, Kuromi-chan, said Naruto. You just enjoy my soothing caresses. Tch, you should feel honored just to touch my coat, mortal. Don't get too cocky, she said, as Naruto chuckled out loud. Kakashi watched both of them. Naruto, where did you get that fox? Oh, she's my partner, and closest one to me, said Naruto. Think of her as one of those trained ninja dogs, but a lot more better. Kakashi felt like Naruto was not lying, but at the same time, he was hinting to something. And besides, at the moment, he did not see a problem, so... Well, he wasn't going to interfere. I think you're saying too much, said Kuromi. She buried her head in the crook of Naruto's arm, feeling bashful, as Naruto saw a puddle in the middle of their path. Given that this path is frequently used, it is rather strange for that puddle just to be there, untouched. So perfect. As Naruto heard it, you hear that, Kuromi-chan? The sound of breathing in the water, echoing in a way that is not real. Water, said Naruto. Yes, I can sense them. Also their dark intent. What do you want to do? Naruto looked around before he shrugged. Well, nothing right now. Who knows? They might be friendly. Kuromi looked towards him. Do you not know what dark intent is, she asked. Naruto ignored her as she sighed and ran up him, before she rested on top of his head, as Naruto placed both hands in his pockets. After they passed by, two figures exploded out. Get him! Kakashi was captured as his body was ripped apart. Tezuna and Sakura's eyes went wide as Sakura screamed in fright. One down, get the rest, and then the bridge builder. Sakura pulled a kuna as she backed towards Tezuna. Right in front of him, Sasuke jumped to gain some distance, as he appeared behind Naruto and wrapped the chain around him. Wow, you guys are almost as fast as Sasuke. Not bad. They yanked on the chain, however. It did not harm him. What? A charge went up the chain, numbing both of their hands. Sasuke, said Naruto rather annoyed. How long are you gonna wait after they attack me? Sasuke somersaulted right over Naruto, as he brought his heel and slammed it into both of their faces. They fell back and disconnected their chains. Damn annoying brat. They rushed towards Sasuke, however. Kakashi appeared and caught the both of them by their throats. The force that he slammed them with knocked them out clean. Sakura's eyes widened. Sensei, you're alive! Sasuke scoffed at their teacher. Dramatic return, as Naruto simply sent a vibration through the chain, causing it to fall right off him. I still don't get why you two are so content with a fighting strategy that puts your life in repeated danger. Naruto put his hands behind his head as he walked forward. Hey, it worked, doesn't it? Although, it would be great if the Uchiha put a little more preemptive movement. Sasuke scoffed. I had to read the situation first. You shouldn't have gotten caught so easily if they were slower than me. Naruto's eyes bore in the back of Sasuke's skull for a moment before he sighed. I guess you have a point there, he said. Kakashi shook his head before he addressed all of them. Well anyway, good job everyone. Sakura, despite your fear, you knew to guard our guests. Naruto and Sasuke regardless of how you did, you were still able to handle two Chunin 11 ninjas. Naruto, how did you stop the chain from injuring you anyway? Well, it's kind of instinctive, half the time, but in face of incoming danger, my chakra pressurized the air around me to where the general area that I'm going to be struck is, and charged vibrations are bumped through that compacted atmosphere, both stopping and repelling the danger. It's very conductive, which means if I increase the charge, it can be used offensively. It worked easier on metal weapons rather than physical attack though. Kakashi nodded the explanation that would explain a few things he's done. Sakura was surprised as Sasuke balled his fists. Not only was he a center, but he has a defensive too. Naruto saw that. Just hurry up and get your Sharingan, and that will make things more fun. Sasuke's eyes widened. Was he able to read his mind as well? However, Naruto simply smiled, pissing him off once again. Kurumi leaned down and bit him on the ear. Kurumi, what's wrong? Said Naruto. That was boring, and I hate the Uchiha. So that's your punishment for encouraging him. But he's my teammate. And, she said, as Naruto was talking out loud. Kakashi watched them. He heard what Naruto was saying, but the fox was not talking. He turned towards Tazuna, who looked nervous as hell, as he spoke in a serious tone. Those two are missing nins. The demon brothers. Kurumi scoffed at that name, as Naruto snickered at that. They knew that you were the bridge builder, and they aimed to target you. We believe that this is a simple escort mission, and that maybe we'll have to protect you from a couple of bandits. The fact that there are actual ninjas after you will elevate this mission and actually put my team at risk. Tazuna's sweat had been caught. He just came out and told them the problem. When asked why he did this, the village didn't have enough money, as Gato was sucking them dry. Come on, let's still keep going, said Naruto. This is our first mission outside the village. Would you guys really want a fail to be on your record? Tch, as much as I hate to argue with the dope, he's right. I'm not turning back now, Sasuke said. Seeing that the both of them agreed, Sakura, who was unsure, agreed as well, because Sasuke agreed. Well then, it's your lucky day, Tazuna. As they had taken a boat before they headed back to shore, as Naruto was a bit jittery, as he could feel something off. Naruto, what's wrong? Said Kakashi. I am just not used to this, said Naruto. I have gotten rather used to my sixth sense and the environment that I am used to be in. You know how I sense through air and vibrations, right? Well, sound is basically vibrations moving through the air to be pressured by the ears. Sound moves 4 to 6 times faster through liquid, and the ear here has a much more higher water content because of this mist. My sense expands out similar to a spear from my body. It's still going out normally, but when it hits the moisture in the air, it speeds up and expands. It causes it to speed up like static, and it's rather dizzying. And also the mist is getting thicker and thicker, which will make it harder to... Wait, this mist feels thicker than normal water particles. This is someone's chakra. Kakashi's eyes narrowed at that, as he heard the sound. Everyone get down! As he tackled Tazuna down to the ground, a sword embedded in the tree. As a man flashed on the hilt, Kakashi glanced up when he saw the individual. So now we have to deal with a rogue missing nin, Zabuza Mamakai. As Naruto looked up, there was actual sweat on his face. However, if he was afraid or not, Kakashi could not tell. Something seemed off. So he's a rogue ninja, huh? Means if we kill him, there will be no political backlash after all. He abandoned his village. Well, yes, but Zabuza laughed at that. So even the great Kakashi Hatake knows me. Your kid there seemed to have a little bit of spunk, but he looks like he's about to pass out. Kakashi turned towards Naruto as he saw the sweat. Shit, what's going on? All of you, stay back, he said. I'll handle this. He lifted up his headband. Sasuke started to freak the hell out as he saw the Sharingan. Oh, the Sharingan right off the bat. I guess this means you won't give up the bridge builder. Sorry, but no can do. Kakashi pulled a kuna and gripped onto it tightly. Zabuza smirked under his bandages. Well, looks like I can get some more enjoyment out of this. Before I kill you all, he said, with a vicious grin. He pulled the blade from a tree as he vanished from sight. Hidden mist jutsu. The mist got so thick they could barely see anything. Killer intent washed over the area. Sakura started to tremble. Who the hell is this guy? Zabuza started to list out the points on a human body that he could go after. scaring them even more. Kurumi leaned over and looked Naruto in the eyes. "Don't you dare embarrass me here," she said. "You're my container." Zabuza flashed right in the center of all of them. Being distracted will get you killed. Naruto had lashed out as he pushed Sakura away. Kicking Sasuke to the side, he pushed Tazuna with his other hand. Zabuza sliced right through him. Kakashi's eyes went wide. "No," he said, not expecting Naruto to make that move. As Naruto got sliced right through the center, however his body destabilized into static as it rushed through Zabuza's blade and ran straight up into his arm. "What the hell?" he said as the blade slammed into the ground as his hand shook violently. Kurumi was falling, seeing that Naruto was now gone. However, she was grabbed as Naruto placed her back on top of his head as he was now standing on Zabuza's blade. "Ah, that's better. Your killer intent, while strong, is nothing I have not handled before. In fact, compared to others, it's quite pathetic," said Naruto. As everyone was shocked by that, the mist had messed with Naruto's sense of direction because of his ability, and it started to mess with his mind, freezing him up back there. But the killer intent, it snapped him back into focus, and now his raw natural instincts were coming out. Instincts of brutal training from Danzo, as sparks start to fly off Naruto's body. So his bloodline is a mixture of both wind, lightning, and earth. Kakashi thought as he saw all what was happening around Naruto. The ground splitting apart, the wind gathering, the electricity. However, he didn't have time to think about that right now. Zabuza was defenseless. He rushed forward as Naruto flipped away, as he stabbed Zabuza right in the chest. But he turned to water. Zabuza emerged a real one and sliced him in half. However, Kakashi turned to water as well. Zabuza pulled his blade and blocked a strike from the back. As for Naruto, he was looking at Kurumi. "Your container, huh?" he said. As she looked away. "That was just to make you feel important," she said. "My pride is on the line after all. When you look bad, I look bad as well. Still though, you got a bit possessive there." "You're even interested in me," said Naruto. "Well, you're an interesting human being," she said. "I don't think that's what you meant," said Naruto. She poofed away as she went back inside of him. That caused him to chuckle. "Oh, that's cute," he said, as she was hiding. "But I still can't believe that you thought I was cowering away." "Me of all people," said Naruto. As he rolled his neck, he started to stretch his palms. As he bounced the ball of his heel, "I guess I'll just have to show you," he said, as a grin spread on his face. As he walked over to the others, "So, do I get any ratings for that performance?" he said. They looked at him like he was crazy. Can't he see what they were in the middle of right now? Over to the other side. "That kid of yours is actually a bit impressive, Kakashi," said Zabuza. "Yeah, he may be a bit reckless, but I suppose if he's protecting the team in my stead, I don't have nothing to worry about." "We'll see about that." He released the blade. Kakashi was blocking the strike, and now that it was released, his arm was going down as he was kicked violently right towards the water. Kakashi glared as he pulled himself up. "Why is the water so dense?" "Because it's a trap, dumbass." "Water style, water prison." The water enveloped Kakashi. "Shit, I got sloppy," he thought, as he created two water clones. "Guys, don't worry about me. The water clones can only go so far away from its creator. Take the zone and run." "No can do, Sensei," said Naruto as he placed his hands in his pockets. As he walked towards the two clones, one of Zabuza scoffed. "So you're a cocky brat, huh?" Both of them swing their blade towards his face and chest. However, they explode into water. "Zabuza, I actually have to thank you. Your mist was so dense that it affected my sensory ability, and it both diffuse and conducts certain properties of my chakra. Thanks to that, I'm able to finally separate my lightning chakra from my bloodline. So really using water constructs against me wouldn't be the smartest things right now." "Hey Sasuke, catch!" Naruto tossed a Fuma shuriken towards him as he caught it. "A Fuma shuriken? You should know what to do with it," said Naruto. Sasuke narrowed his eyes towards where Zabuza was as he noticed that he could not move. He can still perform one-handed seals, but he had to stay there to keep Kakashi in place, which means he's a still target. Zabuza leaped over it when he threw it though. "Huh, you have great aim, but I'm not that stuck," he said. "Is that all you brat got?" "Nah," said Naruto. "Don't have a name for this yet, so I'll just say right back at you." said Naruto as he flashed through 2 hand signs. There was a sound of buzzing. Zabuza glanced behind him as the shuriken slowed down, before it seemed like it was yanked at an incredible speed right back towards his face. Zabuza ducked rather quickly, but he was still holding on to the prison. Shit, what the hell was that, he thought, as he saw no ninja wire. As Naruto pointed his hand towards shuriken as it came to a stop, right into the water. Try this on for size, said Naruto. The thing started to glow and buzz before it destabilized. And boom! Several currents slammed into Zabuza. As his body seized up, losing his balance, he collapsed right into the water. As Kakashi was safe and also free from the water prison. Well, that was fun, said Naruto as he walked forward. Clearly rogue ninjas aren't ready for me yet. Zabuza exploded out of the water, his giant blade coming up. Naruto moves, said Kakashi. However, as he brought the blade down, boom! The ground exploded under Naruto. Zabuza's blade was blocked by 2 palms, holding it right at the sides. Naruto held the blade and stopped it from moving. As Naruto's pupils became slit, sound traveled 4 times faster in water, said Naruto. Zabuza pushed down with all of his might, as Naruto's grin spread even wider. Slam! Zabuza coughed up blood under his bandages. Something heavy slammed into his side, throwing him as he crashed rather hard. When he looked back, he saw a chain coming from Naruto. A chain? That's impossible. Boy, what's your name? He said, as Naruto grinned as he pointed at himself with his big finger. The name is Naruto Uzumaki, Konoha, ultimate weapon. Uzumaki, huh? There are still young ones around. I never knew, said Zabuza. Well, it seems the demon of the mist is not that scary after all. My student here is a fresh genin, said Kakashi. Zabuza scowled at that. Kakashi had a lot of questions upon seeing Naruto fight a moment ago. A lot that you want to know, but this was not the time. Zabuza started to go through hand signs, but Kakashi started to imitate him. 2 gigantic water dragons clashed together rather violently. Zabuza narrowed his eyes through the spear of water. Let's see how he handles this then. However, Kakashi started to do the same thing. Damn you, stop copying me! Copying you? Sorry, I already know this jutsu. Kakashi finished right before him. The wave of water that emerged slammed into him with terrible force. His body was slammed violently into a tree. As Kakashi pulled a kuna and ripped in this, Naruto heard bristle as he turned his head. 2 senbons shot from a tree a moment later, hitting Zabuza right in the neck. A lone hunter then showed up. The others went on guard. He held his hand up. I mean you all no harm, sorry to intrude, but I've been on Zabuza's trail. As Kakashi checked his pulse, he was indeed dead. Well, I suppose since you killed him, you have his bounty right. However, Naruto walked up. Tension started to build despite his hands being in his pockets as he looked at the hunter. Even if you're on his trail, this still wasn't your battle. To interrupt only at the end like that and steal someone else's prey, well, that can be seen as flat out disrespect. The hunter looked at him critically as Naruto did the same. He seemed to be the same age as Naruto, and yet he's an elite assassin. Despite Naruto being outranked though, he was the same level of threat. Who is this kid? Kakashi wasn't sure which kid he was talking about anymore. Naruto, stand down, he said. It's fine. As Naruto slowly lost his edge. Thank you, and once again I apologize for my rudeness. The hunter took the body and sunshine away. Well, it's finally over, said Tazuna, as he was shocked at the blonde kid how powerful he was. Hey Kakashi, shouldn't you be... As Naruto pointed towards ground. What do you... Kakashi fell as Naruto caught him. Shit, I used too much chakra, he said. I could feel your weakened chakra levels. I was wondering when you would fall over. You really need to work on your stamina, said Naruto. Kakashi was too weak to say anything about Naruto berating him, as Naruto swung him around like limp luggage as he turned toward Tazuna. As Tazuna was happy to accommodate them all, so with that they made their way. You did good, container. Don't you mean my container, said Naruto. Don't get ahead of yourself. You may be giving me a certain amount of freedom, but I can still make this hard for you, Kuromi told him. However, Naruto appeared right in the mindscape. As he appeared in front of her, he was right in her face. Well, he said as he fingered the chain around her neck. I do love a challenge. You're my closest friend, so I will address you closely, Kurumi-chan, said Naruto. That made her blush as he turned away, as he focused on his surroundings outside. Naruto. That hunter person. They were lying, you know? Yeah, I know, said Naruto. Then what are you gonna do about it? She asked. Well, if they mean to go against me, that means I'll run into Zabuza again. So I'm gonna work on my chakra control so I can be ready next time. Your container has to prove to the world that he's the strongest, right? A smirk came on her face. Yes, you do, she said. Time skip. Thank you for protecting my father. I'm his daughter Tsunami. A natural beauty greeted them at Tezuna's door. No problem at all, said Naruto, with an eye smile. As the rest of the group looked at him with a glare, there was one thought on their mind. Of course there was a problem. Tsunami looked towards him. You all must be tired. You're welcome to rest here during the duration of your mission, if you want to, but we don't have a lot to offer, she said. Thank you for your hospitality. If you can show me to a room where I can drop off for Lisa Sensei, that would be wonderful, said Naruto. Of course, right this way. As she led them in, as Naruto watched her back as she moved. I wonder how far her hospitality would go, he wondered. He lost his footing though as a sharp pain ran through his body. His legs gave out as he dropped to the ground motionless, dropping Kakashi, who groaned. Sasuke looked down as he raised an eyebrow. Inside of his mindscape, Naruto stared at Kurumi. Kurumi, what the hell, he said. Oh, my apologies. I seem to have tripped, she said, as she wasn't looking at him. Outside the seal, said Naruto. Accident do happen, she said to him. Naruto sighed as he walked over and picked up bridal style. That made her blush. As he reached a small lake, he created a couch out of nothing before he threw her right on it. Hey! You're alright, said Naruto, as he went back to reality. As he was back in a small room, as he looked around, spread out his senses, he could tell where everyone was. He brought his unique chakra forward as Kurumi appeared. In her fox form, he pulled out a brush as he started to brush her fur. Oh, spoiling me again, she said. Well, you seem suddenly jealous of our hostess, said Naruto. She turned away, not looking at him. I am not sure what you mean, she said. I'm the one trying to get you freedom, said Naruto, and yet, you're the one clinging to me. There is more to freedom than just no person having rights over me. Besides, I'm just being protective of my container. Who knows what diseases you could catch from that woman? Well, I wouldn't catch anything actually. I don't get sick, and Jinjulikis have a natural healing factor and immunity against natural diseases. That's a oddly specific information to have, but it doesn't matter, she said. I still don't want you getting too close to that female. Better safe than sorry. Yeah, you're jealous, said Naruto, as her ears twitched. Just hurry up and finish grooming me, she said, as she felt compelled to punch him if he said anything else. Don't worry, Kurumi-chan. I'm your container after all. I'll continue to spoil you, as long as you allow me to do so. I don't believe I actually gave you permission to do anything beforehand, she said. Well, you didn't have to say it. Your actions show me that much. Still though, having the Bijou Queen allow me to hold her this close, I can say that makes up for my childhood. Well, at least a little. She grew somber as she looked down towards the futon. As Naruto saw the look on her face as he mentioned his past. If it weren't for me, your life would have been better. I'm sorry for... However, he cut her off. One thank you is worth 100 sorries. I can't say my life would be as interesting without you. So, I should be thanking you. As she turned into her human form and looked at him. Thank you, she said. Thank you for allowing me to be your... However, she was cut off as Naruto leaned in and kissed her. As it only lasted for a few seconds, as she realized what was going on, her tail lashed out and grabbed him and slammed him in the floor. Thump. The group downstairs heard the noise upstairs. As Sasuke glanced up, what the hell is the dope doing? Back upstairs, Naruto lied on the ground. Did I read the mood wrong, he said. You can't just go and do that so suddenly, she said. Well, in my defense, you were about to friend zone me. And this is one of those moments that a guy doesn't want to hear that. I don't know what that means, but it still sounds like a terrible excuse. Okay, next time I do it, just stop me, okay? Next time? Wait, you're moving too fast. Time is short, I'm a ninja, so who knows how long time will favor me. Her cheeks puffed out in frustration. For a Bichu queen, you surely do get flustered like a schoolgirl pretty quickly. But I find it really cute though. She glared at him before poof, she was back in her fox form. You have permission to continue grooming me, she said. As Naruto merely smiled, the next morning. What do you mean that ninja is still alive? Said Sakura. She looked towards Kakashi. Hey, why is there so much noise this early in the morning, said Naruto. As he walked downstairs, his Kuromi was on his shoulder. Ah, Naruto, how good of you to join us. As Naruto rolled his neck, as he nodded to Kakashi in greeting. So I see that you believe that Zabuza is alive as well. Kakashi raised the eyebrow at that. Oh, so you figured that out as well? Yeah, Zabuza may appear to be lifeless, and the hunter name might have been a bit convincing, but a few things did not add up. When a person sleep or put in a state, their pulse can go to levels that made them seem as dead. However, a body can never be truly quiet, and that is something I picked up on. I can also tell when someone like that is lying to me. Besides, the soul is never quiet, he said. Kakashi raised the eyebrow. You can sense someone's soul, he said to him. The sound of the soul I can feel, not the soul itself, but it is close enough so I can... Yeah, you can pretty much say I sense the soul, said Naruto. However, I only really notice it on prone bodies. If the body is moving, then it's hard to detect it because there will be a lot more sounds that it's making. Ah, I see. Well, all hunters are supposed to get rid of the body and just take the head. That ensures death, and it's also safer for a number of reasons. It is something that you should all be taught in the academy. Well, if that is the case, why didn't Sakura figure it out then, said Naruto, as he turned towards her. What? Why me? Well, you are a real big book smart, said Naruto. That is your only strong point right now. So, as your only area of usefulness, you should at least pay attention to your surroundings and give us input, seeing that your information can mean the difference between life and death. She shrunk back a bit at being pointed out like that, before that turned into anger. Who do you think you are, she said. What makes you think some class loser like you can tell me what to do? What? I wasn't telling you what to do. I was just wondering why you are no help to this team. Kakashi winced at that. He was about to say something. As Sakura got really angry, however, she was blasted with a dose sense of killer intent from Naruto, making her straighten up. But I can tell you what to do now, Haruno, he said. You can work or die, because that is your only choice. I will only pull your weight for so long, and as much as Sasuke hates me, if he has to choose between saving me or saving you, he would choose me instantly, and you know why? As Naruto walked directly towards her, because I am actually useful, and you're a goddamn fangirl who is worth even less than her own body's worth or object of interest, and would be better off as a paperweight for some goddamn Naruto-kun. As Kurome spoke, cutting him off. Yes, said Naruto. I know that she's not much, but I can see that you're really angry right now. And sometimes you tend to rant a bit too much. I don't want you to say something you can't take back. You said it before. Isn't she your ally? She didn't really care about the pinker human, however. It was just some good advice. Only because she's a Konoha shinobi. But yeah, you're right, said Naruto. Sakura was pale and scared as she glanced towards Sasuke. However, he looked away. As Naruto backed up. Sorry, he said. Just got a little excited. Anyway, Sakura-chan, just work a bit harder and I'm sure you can find something you're good at, he said. As he walked towards the kitchen where their hostess was. Hey, Tsunami-chan, how about I help you with breakfast? The woman was nervous at how he easily changed like that. As she gave him a small smile and nod though. Thank you, Naruto-san, but I wouldn't want to trouble you, she said. No trouble at all. I learned a thing or two about cooking. Kakashi let out a sigh at his team. Well, at least he did not beat her into submission like what he did with Sasuke. All of Team 7 was now outside after a few hours. Alright, it's time I begin your training. So you're finally gonna do your job now, Kakashi. Naruto, please. The innocent expression on Naruto's face, it made things a lot worse. Whenever he was out of combat, he just switched so easily. I will be teaching you all how to better utilize your chakra. But Kakashi-sensei, we already know how to use our chakra, Sakura said. Yes, Sakura, I know that. After all, if you did not, you wouldn't be shinobis, wouldn't you? What I'm planning to teach you is a must for all shinobis. It's called tree walking. As they looked at him confused. Let me show you an example, he said, as he walked up the tree. To do this, you have to channel chakra to the bottom of your feet. Too little and you slip off too much, and you'll be blown back. Sasuke moved to go first, as he ran straight up, as he went a little far up before he flipped off. Good job, Sasuke, said Kakashi. Damn it, it's harder than I thought, he said to himself. He thought he'd at least get to the top in one go. This is actually kinda fun. Glancing up, Sakura was in the tree already, as Sasuke glared at her, making her flinch. As Kakashi raised an eyebrow. Great job, Sakura. Looks like your control over your chakra is excellent. Well, Naruto, you're the only one left. Well, this, said Naruto as he glanced towards the tree. Well, he supposed that he was too busy learning more dangerous things than to work on these simple things. Or maybe he just forgot, he thought to himself. Well, let's see now. He walked over and placed his feet on the tree, and he channeled a large amount of chakra. However, it started to fizzle a bit. As he added a bit more, and everything went to hell as he was blown away, the tree bark cracking. As Sakura laughed. You call me useless and you can't even climb a tree, she said. What a sorry excuse for a shinobi you are, Sakura. Kakashi spoke up. The tree climbing exercise take both precise and control, as well as a small amount of chakra. While you do indeed have great chakra control, you have small reserves that give you a boost. However, Naruto has at least 10 times the amount of chakra I do. I heard that he still perform the clone jutsu even with his chakra reserves. For a ninja with the chakra that he has to do something like that, it's relatively impossible, and yet he still did it. Which means he put in the work. So if anyone has a right to berate anyone, it's him, not you. Sasuke and Sakura eyes widened at that information as Kakashi lightened up. This exercise doesn't have the same difficulty for everyone. However, it's something that all should learn. All of them felt a spike in chakra. Naruto, what are you doing, Kakashi? As Naruto walked over and slammed his foot right through the tree, the thing exploded the bark, causing the tree to fall. Sasuke had to jump away. Kakashi had to jump away as well. Sakura fell off the tree that she was in as the other one hit right into it. She closed her eyes expecting pain, but she felt none as she opened her eyes, as she saw that Naruto had caught her in one hand as he released her to the ground. Kakashi watched as Naruto walked away. His chakra is so problematic in nature. If he doesn't work on his control, at least as much as Lady Snyder did in her prime, it will do him more harm than good in the future, Kakashi thought to himself, as Naruto's chakra was rather dangerous. Around 10 minutes later, Naruto sat, petting Kuromi. You're pretty hot-headed that time, aren't you? Said Kakashi. Are you here to lecture me? Said Naruto. Now, don't be like that. Here. Naruto caught the paper, however, it fizzled away. Kakashi's eyes widened at that. That was a chakra paper test of Inte, however. The thing simply dematerialized when Naruto touched it. That is remarkable, Naruto. During your fight with Zabuza, you learned how to separate and use your lightning of Inte, correct? Yeah, said Naruto. That is what I thought. Here, this time. Suppress your lightning nature as much as you can. As Naruto did as he was told as he caught the paper this time. The paper rippled in his palm, like waves were going through it, before it burned up into pieces. That was cool. I can't believe it. What I just gave you was chakra paper, used to figure out a shinobi of Inte. We already know about lightning and expected wind as well. However, you also have fire, it seems, and earth. But the way they interact with each other is strange. A way I've never seen before. Well, I already know about the lightning and wind aspect, but how does that help me right now? Well, your bloodline can become a lot more powerful if you focus and master all the individual elements before combining them. Then maybe you wouldn't have to deal with the backlash of using your own chakra. As for your tree walking, maybe you should not use chakra. As Kakashi walked away after giving him that advice. Poof! Kuromi appeared in her human form. She looked down at him before she walked away, as she stood in front of a tree. As she started to walk up it with her eyes closed, she then opened them and looked down. What? How did you... As she looked down towards him, as Naruto stepped forward, she flipped and landed down. Well, I am at my base, a massive chakra, and a consciousness that evolved over time. I have a godly amount of chakra, and I know how to use my body, which is my chakra. So I figure even if I'm sealing you, how much my chakra comes out. at this time would still be a rather large amount. So I just go on instinct. As Naruto remembered what Kakashi said, maybe you should not use chakra. As Naruto looked towards her, a smile came on his face as he moved and kissed her on the cheek before she could stop him. Wow, I didn't think you were, but you're actually our genius, Kuromi-chan, he said. What? What do you mean you didn't think I was one? She swiped at him, however, he was already gone, moving towards the tree. As Naruto closed his eyes, he walked up the tree. However, the moment he opened them and realized what he was doing, he fell as he crashed on the ground. The moment I started to think about it is when I slept. Come to think of it, I wasn't thinking about it either, she said. I take back my genius comment, said Naruto. He had to jump out of the way, as her feet kicked right through the tree. I was joking, said Naruto. Time skip, whoa. You guys sure are hungry, said Tsunami. As Kakashi ate normally, somehow, even with their mass, Sakura and even Sasuke ate faster than before, trying to refill their empty stomachs to gain back some energy after that training. I wonder where Naruto is, Kakashi said. Tetsuna took a swig of his alcohol. Was he not out there with you guys training? He was, but shortly after being shown, he got a bit irritated and walked off. I bet he's somewhere goofing off. After failing tree climbing, it matches for a class slacker like him, Sakura said. Oh really? She froze as she heard the voice behind her, as he was glaring down at her. Oh, Naruto, you're back, said Kakashi. Yep, said Naruto. Its demeanor switching back. Thanks for the advice, by the way. What advice? You know when you said not to use... Naruto paused, as his hair shadowed his face. Now calm down, said Kakashi. It was just the egg on your determination. I don't know why you all bothered. You just can die anyway. All of them turned towards that voice. Ha, you worry too much, kid. I mean, everyone's gonna die eventually. So you worry too much. Go on and die then, Gato has an army. There is no way you can stop him. And I am the ultimate weapon. Or a deterrent, depending on the situation. Naruto calmed demeanor, pissed Inari off even more though. Is this some kind of game to you? You probably have a spoiled life to think like that. You don't know what it's like to suffer, he said. Oh, I don't, said Naruto. His body language remained the same, rather carefree, but his eyes were hardened. As Naruto walked over to a picture on the wall, it was a picture of them. However, one person's face was torn out of it. He then spoke. You lost someone important to you, huh? Maybe even a father. The family, especially Inari, flinched. You're a good kid, Inari, said Naruto, turning towards him. You've been through a lot, and you don't want others risking your life and feel the same pain that you did. That is why you don't want us here. You feel like what we're doing is a waste, so you rather us don't die, risking our life to protect you. Inari clenched his fist as he tried to hold back his tears. However, said Naruto, I grew up on the streets. I had to fight to eat and live. Since I was half your age, I had to grow up with the world weighing me down every single chance it got. I'm not gonna give you some long story as to how or why I lived the way I did. But you said I didn't know anything about suffering. As Naruto took off his jacket and his undershirt, the room eyes widened at that when they saw. Do you think you suffer more, said Naruto. Tsunami covered her mouth. As all of them were shocked, there were thin scars across Naruto's body, where he was slashed and looked like he was almost cut in two. The marks weren't patched or anything, they were smooth and faded. As he then turned, sorry Tsunami-chan, he said. I get really hungry when I train, so I think I'll go for a hunt, he said. Wait Naruto, said Kakashi. How's your training coming along now? I can give you some tips if you want. As Naruto glanced back towards him with a small smile. Come on, said Naruto. I don't need your pity. I already mastered that. As he left the house. Kakashi-san, said Tetsuna, after a few minutes. I don't know how things work in your village, but what could the boy have possibly done to deserve a treatment like that? Naruto has always been an orphan, and with certain events around him he served for an easy escape route. Let's just say in a world so dark and mean, it's hard for anyone to see the truth. Meanwhile, Kuromi had appeared as she was walking beside him in her fox form. The place was quiet. I'm sorry, she finally said. It's not enough I know. What are you doing, said Naruto. She knew exactly how he got those scars. If it wasn't for me, you wouldn't have been tortured. Stop, said Naruto. You had to go through hell just to survive. Stop, Naruto said. She transformed in her human form. You try to look so happy all the time, but you got a lot of pent up and dark emotions hidden away inside of you. Stop, said Naruto. Yet you still want to free me. But you don't have to. I should at least go through the pain that you felt. But it still wouldn't be a suitable payment for what I have done to you. I said stop! As he roughly grabbed her by the arms and pulled her in. As he glared at her, she expected his anger to be taken out on her. However, what she felt was something personal against her lips. He kissed her. She tried to regain her bearings as he wrapped his arms around her and pulled her in. She tried to push him back. Why are you? However, they fell to the ground as he silenced her with his lips. He then pulled back with a smile on his face. I feel so much better now, he said. I already told you. I'd rather you not apologize for what has already been done. She was about to cry from embarrassment as she covered her face with her hands. What's wrong with you? Said Naruto. Please put your shirt back on, she said. His body had scars, but he was also toned and firm to the touch. That's cute, said Naruto. I'm starting to question how people ever found you scary. She growled as her eyes turned dangerous. Just joking, he said, walking away. Alright, said Naruto. Time to give this another try. He then jumped up as he started to bounce from tree to tree. As she watched him, a smile on her face until he then released his chakra. She had to cover her eyes and step back. Time skip. A young woman walked through the woods alone as she noticed a young boy. As he was under a tree's headband covering his eyes, his body was covered in dirt. As around him was nothing but destruction, trees toppled over and destroyed. She approached the boy as she gasped when she saw his face. She slowly started to approach him even more, her hand coming up. I wouldn't get closer if I was you. She froze as Naruto spoke up. How did he detect me, she wondered herself. He sat up and removed his headband. Wow, just woke up, and I'm greeted the sight of a pretty girl, he said. She smiled at his little compliment, as she felt eyes piercing into her despite him not looking that threatening towards her. Calm down, Chromie. It's fine, said Naruto. She glanced up, her eyes went wide. She saw a panther-sized fox glaring at her, ready to pounce and rip her to shreds. She jumped down as she glared at the woman before she turned, as Naruto petted her on the head as she lied down with a huff. Sorry, she's a bit of a jealous type. By the way, the name is Naruto Uzumaki. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. My name is Haku. Haku. That's a nice name. So what is someone like you doing out here? Alone, said Naruto. Oh, I was just collecting herbs for a friend of mine. Herbs? Yes, he got injured, and they will help his injury, she said. What are you doing? She asked. Well, I was just doing some training out here, and I decided to rest when I was done. Oh, I see. So is there a reason why you're training? After all, looking at the damage, I could say that you're strong enough. Nah, I've set the bar high for myself. I'll be the ultimate weapon, so of course, I want to be much stronger. So you have a goal, but is there any other reason? Do you fight for someone precious to you? I believe when you fight for someone precious to you, that is when you become truly stronger. Well, I don't think that's the only way to get strong, said Naruto. However, I at least have one person important to me, as he glanced towards Chromie. Well, anyway, he said, as he stood and dusted himself off. It was nice talking to you, Haku-chan. Tell Zabuza that I'll be waiting, okay? As he started to walk away, Haku froze up at that, but he did not look back. He just kept on walking away with that fox of his. He knew, she thought to herself. But guys, to be and subscribe right here. For what's the next person do, like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on that bell notification to stay posted. But I'm off for now, see you guys soon. Peace, guys.